Well, anyway, I come back on now to say after we kind of worked on the legs the last time around, this is the video where we are finally going to work on the back a little bit. Like you see, there's probably these places that you sew on first, are these places where you see these little flat tabs, and save the pointed tabs until later. And so we got the needle through there and put it through here as well. Kind of got to cut it off at that place, get it so we can make it go through the lines and work a little bit into it. That we kind of make different shapes in the tabs on this little pattern just to kind of help us know where to go, what to do first and last, and how to go about it. So there's just so much I'd say we gotta separate in this and then put the little place through and make it so it's going to come its way to us. We see how this is just working itself along, and some little work is going to find another little way to make it to us. I say this is one piece of work that has its way about us. It's all just one of those projects we sort of do with ourselves, and then little ways we go here, we're getting a little more done, making it so it's going to be a little brighter end to us. Oh, the times in our lives when we kind of learn the ways to do things, how we get better at things. And I'll tell you all a little story as to how I kind of feel like today I got so much better with the power carver. There's quite a lot of stories to that as to how it took me so long to really be able to learn how to use it right, but then I carved so much with my hands over time that I finally got to the point where I could understand the power carver a little better. Got my first one when I was 16 and still use that same one now because it's lasted all those years, and feel like I finally just figured a few things out that might have been, whoa, I say so hard to do before, and making it so we see how the light is coming this way. Now we got this last little knot to make. We're going to tie the knot right in here on this little back, and then also we're going to do a little spot where we can leave the back open a little bit with the tabs we need on there. And where you see this little line here on the underside on the tab, you put that through the leg and the body and kind of make it so it's going to come line right up with your work. Get it right into where it's going to be just the brighter thing, the brighter ways. I say little time and little work, I say, is just the kind of thing where we see greater days to come, greater worlds to come. I tell y'all that we finally got a little line in here. We kind of got to stroll it along and make it so it's going to make its way down the little B, make it so it's going to be a little thing, I say. And then with all we do, I tell y'all that what work it's going to make itself to be, and so it's going to come this way no matter what we do, no matter how far we take it. And I'd say we finally got to where we sew along up into the end of this little blue tab here, and we're going to come back around here, take it right the other way, to come back around and go right back up the body from to the place where we started, and a little further up than that to where we get past the little legs and see where a little work is going to take us as of next, because all this work is just some kind of work to me, but it's relaxing and enjoyable, and most of all, it is all to me just a good way to be very, very, very creative. I say we're coming this way, taking it down, making the next round. Oh, and what we see here, we're coming down to the place where we're going to sort of place the little thread through and make it so it's going to come into place, and then we all just come down to the spot where it needed to be, make it in places so it's going to be a great, 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 wonderful work of art, a masterpiece, hopefully one day. And we know that there's been a lot of stuff we've seen in life that meant a lot to us and said a lot to us, and we finally come down to this point where we're about to be done with the Bumblebee, make one last little place to go, and through this little tab we take this little step and finally draw the line. And it's going to be the place where we can do like we've already done here and go about the other side as well. And it's going to take us there somehow, some way, and we kind of get the little thread strand, if we can get it through the eye of the needle, that is, it's going to come down. And I tell you, oh, this trouble it is making my video long. And finally we got it in there. We got a little place here where we take out the thread. We got the loop into the eye of the needle, and we're going to go to the next little spot here and make sure you've got the legs on the inside when you're sewing it out, so that way they will turn on the outside when it is finally time to make it out the whole way. So this little work here, put the needle through the thread, tie it through, make it so it's going to be a little work in us, and then try to make it so it goes the rest of the way. And then I'm going to try to pull this little strand through, because Unfortunately, it just so happened that the thread got off the needle here, so take it again. And so this is always going to be trouble for us, and probably ought to be stopping the video to take care of this, but it's going to keep messing with me. It's going to keep screwing me up. You know. Okay, I finally got the thread back on the needle, and in case it gives me any more trouble, we might have to bring the video to an end, but the bottom line is, I'll just tell you this, when it comes down to it, you just sew the legs on the other side the same way you do on the first side. So, we'll take this on, we'll take it a little further, and finally, this will be the work. We'll get into it and see that it's just little places where we take the project to go and make our way about it. Hopefully it looks like we might get this done a little fast here, maybe faster than I expected, but we'll still take our time to make sure we don't mess it up too much or get it too unneat, and so, and it's going to kind of make a way down to the point where we get along to it and see what we can do, see what we can see what we can say. I say that this is going to be the finest work we're going to have around, and then it's going to come down to be where we got that little loop around there but had to untie it, and so I'd say we can hopefully finish this part in less time, because all there's going to be to do after that will be to turn it out from the back side, which for the bee is the better side to turn it out from, because you can kind of match up the thread there, and you know, a bee's backside's not all that pretty anyway, so that's kind of the reason why we kind of get the thread in and make our way about it and take it to the point where it's going to be a little work to make its way around us, see around us, work around us. I say, oh, the things this is going to turn out to be, I say, oh, this is going to be a little ways we take. Oh, and next thing you know, we're going to get back up to the front again, because I tell you all that this kind of stitchery, even if I knew how to use a sewing machine, it would be hard to do on there, because it's just the kind of thing where you go through 3 layers by hand and take it all so slow as it goes, and then we're going to take it further up, you know, and think about how they got those sewing machines that they use to make those jeans in those factories. You know, they got special machines with special needles that do that special additional kind of work, and so this is where we're making it come to where it's going to be like this, and so this is just the place. I have to use my fingernail there to get the needle through, because sometimes it can go through a thick piece that's too thick for your thumb, and then finally we got it all the way through, and this is just down to the last steps. We are hopefully getting this done a little quicker than anticipated, and there will be times when you can go a little faster once you get experience, once you get the hang of what you're doing. And then finally, this is where we will make the last knot. But that's going to be a lot of extra work, so I'm going to stop the video right here and tie it afterwards. Thank you for watching.